Hello everyone, this is your EDSE 549 video lecture for week 4. The topic for this week is collaboration. Let's start by defining collaboration. Collaboration is a style that professionals choose to accomplish a goal they share. It is how people work together and not what they do together, but how they work together. This is, of course, easier said than done. For those of you who have ever had to work in a group or as part of a team, you probably agree with me that collaboration is not always as easy as it sounds, that it takes some energy and it takes availability from team members, it takes some willingness to collaborate and be part of a team. Although as teachers we must collaborate with many others, like team members, other team members, family members, other teachers, and other professionals, by nature we tend to be solitary creatures. After all, most teachers tend to work in a classroom or in a teaching situation in which they have ultimate authority. That goes for teachers of students who are visually impaired, who are itinerant, or for those teachers who have their own classroom. Again, they usually have ultimate authority. Only occasionally the teachers come together to work together. Committee meetings are the only ones that I can think of. Staff meetings usually involve the principal disseminating information for the teachers. Parent-teacher conference involve teachers disseminating information for the parents, and teaching involves the teacher disseminating information for the students or to the students. Although IEP meetings are collaborative in nature, they tend to be less collaborative than they should be. Team members usually conduct separate assessments, individually share results, create separate and often overlapping goals and objectives, and provide predetermined recommendations based on such factors as caseload, size, and professional knowledge level. And this is not ideal, but it's the reality in many cases. Some of the characteristics of collaboration are that collaboration is voluntary, it is based on parity, equality, all members of the team are equal, it requires a shared goal among the team members or the collaborative group members, it includes shared responsibilities for decisions, shared accountability for outcomes, is based on shared resources, is emergent, has certain prerequisites, reflects on your personal beliefs, refines your interaction skills, and contributes to a supportive environment. When thinking about collaboration, it is important to realize that there are 3 different types of collaboration or collaborative teams. The first type is the multidisciplinary team, which is composed of members from various disciplines, and each member of the team is expected to bring their specialized piece or expertise, knowledge to the table. While this approach is often used and often results in thorough evaluation, educational programming and services delivery tends to be fragmented because everybody's doing their own thing separately. Oftentimes, parental expertise is overshadowed in the multidisciplinary team model. And when working on a multidisciplinary team, the TVI tends to fulfill the role of direct service provider. That's what usually happens in our field. The next type of collaboration is when talking about teams, is the interdisciplinary team, which involves having members from separate disciplines, but there's a great deal of more collaboration, or there's a great deal of collaboration that happens or occurs. Even though individual members still tend to conduct separate assessments and provide separate services, there's more sharing of information about the student during the assessment and programming process. Since input is solicited from all members of the team, parents or family members' input is more likely to be incorporated, more than in the previous multidisciplinary team. While the TVI may still provide direct services in this model, they're likely to do role sharing with other members. The last type of collaboration or team collaboration is transdisciplinary. And what this means is that knowledge exceeds the bounds of individual disciplines because all members of the team work together to refine their knowledge about the child. Typically, group assessment of the student occurs and all components of the education program are planned together instead of duties that are being assigned to individuals. As a result, parents are seen as equals in this process. However, the TVI most likely will function in a support role since there tends to be one primary service provider. There are different times and different situations in which these models can be used. For example, it is probably not appropriate for a teacher of the visually impaired to be in a support role model when teaching a beginning Braille reader, for example. However, this also does not mean that the TVI should necessarily pull a student out of class to teach Braille. While the student needs direct instruction, it is also important to educate other team members about Braille so that they can reinforce skills in the absence of the teacher of the visually impaired. On the other hand, TVIs typically assume the role of team supporter when it comes to serving students with multiple disabilities. While we eventually hope to win all students with visual impairments from extensive vision support, it may not be appropriate to initially assume such a role with a student with severe or profound disabilities. The presence of additional disabilities does not deny the impact a visual impairment has on learning. Furthermore, these students are extremely heterogeneous. The group is extremely diverse, and thus knowledge that applies to the student who is quote-unquote just blind may not apply in this situation. I contend that it is not possible to effectively support a team if one does not have extensive knowledge of a student. However, I should note that this perspective tends to be a controversial one. It is also important to know that there are challenges or complexities when collaborating with others. Disagreements often occur. Not everybody is going to view the situation the same way, so it's important that we view the situation from other person's frame of reference or perspective. We evaluate solutions that you constantly are going to be proposing solutions and reevaluating those solutions. Be aware of your attitude, and also disagreements can create better options for the students sometimes. Because collaboration is not a natural skill, this is something that we all must be aware of at all times. In order to develop professionally, we all must examine ways in which we can collaborate more effectively with others. This can be an especial daunting task for the itinerant teacher, which many of us TVIs are.